It's not working, Donald. The American people do not want to see you post these weird memes that you were posting last night. And you're posting memes of yourself as the Grim Reaper with Russ Vogt as the Grim Reaper. Well, that's not funny stuff. Like, look, I'm all for having a good sense of humor, but when we're talking about tens of millions of Americans getting kicked off of their healthcare and dying, you doing Grim Reaper AI videos, it's really weird. Everybody sees, this is what he posted late last night. It's the Here Comes the Reaper music. Donald Trump then was also posting videos of himself chucking a Trump 2028 hat at Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries' face and then pointing at Hakeem Jeffries while he throws it in his face. It's like what you expect like someone who's 5 years old who's not well behaved to act like. And no offense to 5-year-olds, like why are you doing that? I mean, look, again, I'm all for having a sense of humor, but I think people want to see you act responsibly, even if they despise you. I think during this time of a government shutdown, people want to see just you behave like a normal human being. And it's just really just kind of, it gets you a pit in the stomach just to see how you're behaving right there. And also, like, where the hell are you? You know, you didn't speak in public over the past few days. Are you going to speak in public today? Who knows? You're going to go golfing this weekend on the taxpayer dime while there's a government shutdown. We know you're going to continue to bail out Argentina and give them $20 billion while you have this government shutdown. We know you're going to continue construction of the 90,000 square foot ballroom while there's this government shutdown. Like, you all seem giddy. Like, you all literally seem like giddy about this government shutdown so that you can, I guess what, you believe this is an opportunity to further your fascist agenda? That's the term you used. Opportunity. Who looks at a shutdown as an opportunity to inflict pain? But that's what Donald Trump said yesterday morning. I have a meeting today with Russ Vogt, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They are not stupid people, so maybe this is their way of wanting to quietly and quickly make America great again. President DJT, I mean, what sick individual views a government shutdown as an unprecedented opportunity and as a positive way to inflict pain on Americans? You're supposed to be the president of all of the United States of America. I mean, again, I don't care what political party you're from. I mean, this is just sad and demented behavior. Donald Trump also posted late last night, all eyes are on Russ Vogt today. No pressure, like laugh emoji, like sweating laugh emoji. Like, they're acting like this is fun. Like, they're acting like they enjoy this, because they do. Like, there's sick people who actually enjoy the suffering of others. There's going to be, tens of millions of people who are going to be forced off of their health care if a compromise is not reached right now, if a solution is not reached. We know that the Affordable Care Act subsidies are going to expire. We've been going over the data here a lot on the MeidasTouch network. For example, Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock posted how one of his constituents making $65,000 a year, who's paying $300 a month or so in their monthly premiums, that's going to go up to about $900 a month in monthly premiums. I showed another study which shows that a couple 55 years old making $85,000, paying $8,000 annually for their healthcare premiums would now be paying $24,000 for their premiums if the ACA subsidies are not extended. So this is real serious stuff right here. Donald Trump gave this pre-taped interview. It's not clear if this was taped days ago, but he gave this interview on OAN. He looks horrible. Like, he looks sickly and horrible. And I mean, the paint on his face just looks worse than ever. And what Donald Trump says in this interview yesterday with OAN, you probably didn't see it anywhere else, so I'll just highlight it here, is he says, people are doing better. People are doing better than they ever have right now. We have no inflation. Everything is great. We're the hottest country in the world. People have never been better. Are you talking about yourself? I understand it's a golden age for you and your family. You all have made billions of dollars. Yes, there's gold all over the White House that you brag about. The American people are suffering right now. Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. They're unable to afford their rent, highest credit delinquencies in recent history, worst housing market since 1995, worst job market since the Great Recession. Oh, and by the way, the Trump regime is using the shutdown as a way not to post Bureau of Labor Statistics data like job numbers, inflation reports. They just shut it down. You could easily report it. We should know what the job numbers are because we know the answer is devastating. We saw the ADP private payroll numbers for September, negative 32,000 with a 57,000 downward revision in August. So negative 3,000 jobs were created in August. Now, let's think about this. The only area of job growth was healthcare and education. The areas that Trump is most focused on destroying right now as well. That's the only area where there was job growth. Construction, manufacturing, agriculture, destroyed. Like construction, manufacturing, recession right now. It may be worse. So the only area of growth, they're trying to destroy healthcare and education because everything they do is moronic. Anyway, here was Donald Trump on OAN saying things are as great as they can be, never been better. Here, play this clip.
7 different wars I ended, and it's soon going to be 8. And when you think about it, nobody's done anything like that. Then on top of that, we got you the largest tax cuts in history. People are doing better than they've ever done right now. We have no inflation. I inherited a mess, and now we have a country. I'll tell you, I was with the king of Saudi Arabia. He said, a year ago, you were in a dead country, and now you have we're the hottest country in the world right now.
And here's Donald Trump saying that, maybe he's going to get this is part of the Ponzi scheme. He goes, maybe we'll give Americans $1,000 or $2,000 in dividends because we're making so much money on the tariffs, he says. Here, play this clip.
We're not highly levered anymore. Now, with that being said, we'll pay back debt, but we also might make a distribution to the people, almost like a dividend to the people of America.
How much are you thinking for that, sir?
Well, we're thinking maybe $1,000 to $2,000. Be great.
I'm not sure if you saw the exclusive interview I did with Democratic Congressmember Robert Garcia, ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, meaning the highest Democrat there. He says, and I asked him, I said, well, if Donald Trump claims he brought in $17 trillion in tariffs, where's that money? Because it certainly isn't in the Treasury Department. And certainly we don't know where it is. So he either stole it or he's lying. It's most likely he's lying. The reality is assuming we brought in around $100 billion in tariff revenue, just assume that by bringing it in, meaning taxing ourselves, to be very clear what we're talking about, taxing American companies who pass it on to consumers. Donald Trump's bailout of farmers is expected to cost about $50 billion. They say they're going to do an immediate emergency package because our farmers, Farmageddon it's called, they're all about to go bankrupt. Soybean farmers, corn farmers, all our farmers, but soybean farmers particularly. But many believe the bailout's going to need to be about $50 billion. So that would take up most of the tariff revenue, which is taxing of our own Americans, basically, is what the tariffs are. As you know, it's a tax on Americans. Then you would have another, 50 billion. If you were to give 1,000 to 2,000 dividends, that would be another $50 billion. So let's say you do that. So that would be everything. But then you're bailing out Argentina as well, while Argentina then undercuts our soybean farmers and they sell their soybeans to China to screw our farmers. So then we have to bail out our farmers. Make it make sense. You won't be able to make it make sense. As Carl Quintanilla writes, so tariffs will pay for rebates, tax cuts, the deficit, farm bailouts, Argentina bailouts, everything. Because Trump's just such a fraud. So I played that clip of the rebates you saw right there. Next, I want to show you right here the CBS poll where it shows the number of Americans saying the economy is getting worse has ticked up again as prices continue to weigh on perceptions. So as of now, 59% of people who took this poll say the economy is getting worse than it was under former President Biden and worse on a month-to-month basis. 54% in July, 56% said it was getting worse in September. Now 59%, I think we'll see that number continue to rise as well. And then it's just so fascinating seeing Donald Trump's other phony deals in action when the Ponzi scheme gets exposed, when the fraud gets exposed. I told you all these deals are fraud, didn't I? So this was reported in the Wall Street Journal. Delays to Trump's UAE chips deal frustrate NVIDIA's CEO. The multi-billion-dollar deal was announced in May, but the Commerce Secretary has since pushed the UAE for certain U.S. investments first. The UAE promised to invest in the U.S. in exchange for up to several 100,000 NVIDIA chips a year, but the investment hasn't materialized after months of talks, baffling some administration officials who don't know the reason for the delay. I don't know. They didn't delay giving Trump's family $2 billion for World Liberty Financial. They seemed to write that check pretty quickly and help out Donald Trump's personal financial interests. So they helped out his personal financial interest, took our chips and our technology, and they're not actually paying? Huh? That's a shocker. Wow. Another country taking advantage of us because of Donald Trump. Like, when Donald Trump says, oh, they all took advantages of, they all robbed us. No, they didn't before. No, they didn't. America was the strongest, proudest economy in the world. Don't get me wrong, it's not like we were problem-free, but it was viewed as the envy of the world. That was a headline from the Wall Street Journal, the Goldilocks economy, as it was called in the Financial Times. But, Donald Trump wanted to destroy it. Russ Vought, his whole view in 2024, when we were talking about Project 2025, we want them to go, referring to federal government employees, because they are viewed as the villains. Speaking of government employees, we want to put them into trauma. We want to put them into trauma. They say, well, you put them into trauma. You put the country into trauma. What human being says we want to inflict trauma on our people as government officials? Like, when you work in the government, you should want to help people. Again, this shouldn't be a Democrat, Republican, independent issue. You should want to be a leader of government as a public servant. Public servant. Uplift people, not punch down. Show empathy, not inflict trauma. Inflict trauma was your goal? We told you that was their goal. Donald Trump said that was his goal. Why didn't you believe us? I mean, you believed us, but enough. We got to call this stuff out now. Finally, Wall Street Journal headline yesterday, White House senses political risk on healthcare despite shutdown bravado. Trump aides are discussing proposals to extend Obamacare subsidies on which millions of Americans rely. Trump has projected unwavering confidence that he is winning the messaging war over the government shutdown. But behind the scenes, his team is increasingly concerned that the issue at the center of the debate will create political vulnerabilities for Republicans. Advisors are worried that the GOP will take the blame for allowing healthcare subsidies to expire, raising costs for millions of Americans ahead of next year's midterm elections, according to administration officials. It goes on to say that while, again, they're projecting this strength, all their top advisors are like, we're screwed on this issue. All they have is their bluff and their desire to inflict trauma. And don't get me wrong, they're in positions where they can inflict real trauma and pain. But compromising with these bad faith fascists is not going to be a solution. We saw what happened before. There is no compromising with them when it comes to when they say, trust us. When they say, trust us in the future, we'll deal with that in the future. You can't believe them is what I'm trying to say. You can't believe them when they say, don't worry, we'll get to that. They're not. Okay? We know that this is an existential threat facing Americans right now, that they're going to lose their health care. Democrats can't compromise and give that point up. That's my point. And they need to stand firm when it comes to this issue, because this is life or death for millions of Americans. This isn't some abstract fake issue. I know Republicans think this is, a game. We're going to post some memes and we'll blame migrants and we'll blame transgender people. Yeah. No, this is life or death for Americans. And Americans know that. It's why in that Washington Post poll, 71% of Americans support extending the subsidies, extending the Affordable Care Act subsidies. And I think the other 29% are just infected by all the disinformation. In any event, we'll keep you posted every step of the way here on the MeidasTouch Network. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe, and let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.